Karate action.
Yeah. Today on a very special CTS.
Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2.
Of 3.
Of 3. We get the third one, 2025. They're taking
March,
the holidays
I believe.
off. No, it's got to be earlier than that, right?
Spring, it says.
Really?
They got to have enough time to lead into the movie also, but not too much
When does the
time.
movie come out? Summer? Okay. All right. So we're here. If you didn't watch our first part,
We have part 1.
Spoilers, obviously.
somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. Oof. All right. Where do we?
Where do we start? Sekai Taikai. The Sekai Teikei. We're starting. The tournament starts. And I'm like, man, they could have just...
This one might go long.
This first episode of Part 2 should have been tacked on to the end of Season 1, or Part 1, I think.
Yeah, okay. Because they've decided to break up 15 episodes
into 3
of one
parts.
season to do 3 mini seasons, they're doing these artificial...
they're like mini seasons,
right.
Literally.
But they're doing these little artificial tension build-ups.
Cliffhangers. To cliffhangers.
That on rewatch are going to be like, why did you do this?
Why'd you do that?
It makes sense now.
That's what I mean. Like, starting this season, it was like, we're picking right back off because it's not actually a separate season. It's just the next episode. I'm like, just do week to week then.
Yeah,
you would have been.
I'm not sure why they didn't.
You know, if you started now.
Maybe break it in half.
Yeah.
Do a week to week, 7 in a row, 8 in a row, and then take a break and then finish the series off.
Oh, you could have done act break for this, I think would be very obvious. Like, half break is when Miguel and Johnny go back.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay,
and we'll get into it.
Let's get into this. Spoilers.
The tournament has begun. And the tournament is not what I thought it was. It's kind of just like a weird Squid Game karate.
It's low budget Karate Kid. They didn't have the budget to put it in an
but
arena with 1,000 people. And
right.
Do the...
And they're not just like one-on-one fighting. It's just a bunch of like weird wipeout level challenges that feature karate. Like they keep doing this thing where they're fighting on platforms, and like this whole season is all about platforms. Even one of the judges is like, "It's platforms, baby."
I was joking.
The thing you've been waiting for.
With my son, like they lower this one thing. I'm like, the steel cage.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's that level of like gimmick karate events.
Here's my main issue, and we mentioned this in the first part.
I thought it was just gonna be one-on-one fights. Well, like that would have been cool.
This season is not needed.
No,
and not the way it's shot anyway. Things were wrapped up so neat in bows at the end of 5.
Make the Sekai Taikai the movie. The movie. Cobra Kai Sekai Taikai. You know, that sounds fucking awesome.
Because the first, we're 10 episodes in so far for this. I know we're talking about the middle 5, but the first like 8 of episodes, there's probably at least 5 worth of not just wheel spinning.
We don't need them.
Retreading.
We don't need them.
Let's make them fight again for half an episode, even though they've already went over this 106 times.
Like the MIT, the university bit. Like, let's bring Mike Barnes back.
You know, and the problem with all that is like they shot it this way because this season's in chunks. So it feels like, well, it's been forever since we've seen it, but it's one season.
No, it hasn't been forever. Yeah, I had time to rewatch the entire show after last season. Like,
and the last season cliffhanger, as we get into this, ends with like Johnny and Daniel are like, "I hate you. Yeah, I hate you. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to do it for the kids.
Doing it for the kids."
And we pick up and they're like, "Hey, remember, we gotta stay calm." And they're almost like back to like just irritated with each other.
Well, the first couple events they like fight. They're like kind of at odds.
But nowhere near where they were that they left us.
No.
They left us like, are they even going to make it on the plane together?
Right.
And now they're like,
hey, bud.
You're right. We got to be calm again.
We're all cool. Yeah.
And they undid everything. They sequeled us. Everybody forgot their everything.
Everybody forgot their character development and character arcs. Hey, let's make Dimitri and Hawk fight again in the first episode because he's going to MIT and he isn't. But then in the second part, they're going to make up and be friends again. And then they do some weird tag team stuff. I'm like, no, but they were friends, though. If you didn't do the weird MIT thing and just make them both get into MIT, and it's like, yeah, we're binary brothers.
Yeah, we're best friends, but my one best friend doesn't want to go to the same college I wanted to. Okay, that doesn't seem like it needs to be like a 9-episode arc.
Yeah, we're mad at each other until we make up and go, I'm sorry, bro. You know?
And then they make Dimitri a super monster. He's like
cheating on his hot girlfriend.
Cheating on his girlfriend, and then gets mad at his best friend, who doesn't even try to act. He accidentally throws him under the bus, but not. You know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, this is the place we're at." But then it's like the character development thing is really it's There's been fun stuff.
Yeah.
I like Chosen with
Chosen's great. With
the bad, I can't remember her name.
The girl.
That's funny.
That's really good.
That's been really funny.
That's really fucking
because
funny.
he starts off this part of the season as an alcoholic because he tried to go talk to, which I still think that's going to come back.
I was going to say, we didn't even see that, though. Like, it just, like, happened. I'm like, did he go back? I'm like, I can't remember. Is he gone for the first part?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was to go talk to
Kumiko.
Which I still feel like they're going to come back to that because that's probably not going to be, that's going to be like her brother.
Is Kumiko the, like, girl Danny bangs in the second one?
I think that's when he goes and talks to in, like, season 4 also because they bring her back.
Okay.
And that's how we get Chosen.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he needs to go reveal his true love. That's what I mean. Like, this show has been, like, this season especially felt like, what? Okay, we'll do another season.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll do another season. Because it's just like they keep writing. It's so over the top.
So the Sekai Taikai.
Yeah, go ahead.
We get teams from all across the world representing their countries. Maybe? Kind of? Yes, if we want to do Russian stereotype team.
Yes.
And yes, if we want to do Irish stereotype team. But no
So
to Kreese's team, because yes, most of them are of Asian descent.
They're Korean, I believe.
And then we have Peyton List, who, because of last season, joins Kreese's team because Johnny and Danny are fighting and don't know how to handle her treating her mom's death. So she completely betrays the team, even though she doesn't do a complete heel turn.
Here's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of this on surface level sounds like good writing, because it is. That whole thing you just explained is good. But then you're right, she immediately regrets the decision, and we spend 3 episodes with her going, I don't know if I've made the right decision.
I know! Like, Tori and Sam. Like, we made up in the last season, but then Tori did a really shitty thing and joined the other team, and kind of fucked them in the long run, right?
Right.
Then they're like, hey, we're still, sisterhood or whatever,
right.
But I'm not going to hold back on the mat.
That's what I mean. They're doing this. They keep retreading over the same
rivalries.
But we did this already. They made up. They almost killed each other. Like, it was driving me crazy watching, like, Miguel and oh my God.
Robbie.
Like,
again?
Like, okay.
Again?
They tried to literally kill each other where one got thrown off a balcony.
Almost did.
And then the second time the other one got thrown. Like, we've already went through the almost died.
If you can't handle being captain, why don't you just give it? What'd you say? I already said. I said what I needed.
That's what I mean. This is season 2 stuff that we're being rehashed, and it's super cheesy now because we did this already. We did this 5 years ago.
It's like Degrassi Kai.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah. It's like a soap opera.
Everything that can be misconstrued is misconstrued. Every small thing turns into a big argument.
Maybe just like have a conversation. Yeah.
Like Robbie that's what I mean. And then the writers, I feel like, are like think we're dumb watching because they send Robbie to do that.
To be fair, this show is for kids, but it's but it's not, because it's writing off nostalgia from movies that were made in the 80s.
There was like 4 F-bombs per episode.
True.
Which I know people are like, oh, I don't care about that. But like when you're watching it with your 12-year-old and it's never been that extreme.
Yeah, they're going.
They're like
HBO
full rated R. Yeah, like we're making a HBO.
Or it's the Penguin Kai. Yeah.
Like any reason.
Hey, it's so fucking nice or whatever.
Any reason.
Hey, oh yeah, fucking. Yeah. So the events in this tournament are really weird. I thought the setup was gonna be like, it's the most brutal, gruesome thing ever. It's going to be one-on-one fights, no rules.
But then they don't have the budget, so they got to do these weird half-ass. Because, okay, a couple of them make sense. Like, team versus team, and when you get knocked out, that team wins. Like, they all did that, like, one fight.
It's like a battle royale.
Like, at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the end thing where they were all fighting on the thing made sense. But outside of that, you're right. They're like, let's do a weird fight on a balance beam.
Tag team?
And we're going to do a tag team battle royale.
Battles? Does it look awesome? Yeah, it's kind of cool. But it's like, at one point, there's one kid from, like, Kreese's team in the ring, and then, like, they're all buddies again. Everyone on our team is, like, they're all buddies, right? It's after they, like, make up and, like, resolve everything.
Yeah.
Like, Hawk and Dimitri are, like, fighting as a team now.
Yeah.
The tag team battle. Yeah, they're, like, super tag team battle. Yeah. And, like, one guy is in the ring, and all they have to do is just stop him from hitting the hand of one of his teammates to get tagged out. Mm-hmm. And they're like, just beating the fuck out of this kid. It's like, it's awesome because it's like the kid keeps trying to tag out and then like kick his hand away and then like Hawk will tag in Dimitri and they'll like flip over each other and like kick him in the face while tagging in another guy. I'm like, that's cool as fuck.
It's cool, but
I'm like, we lost the plot. We lost the plot.
I remember when I thought the show almost jumped the shark when they had, I think it's season 2 when they kick Miguel off the thing and they have the big
It's
school.
early.
The big
it's
school
early.
thing, right?
Yeah, the battle
season
royale.
2.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a 20-minute school
Fight. Yeah.
And it's so over the top.
But it's cool as fuck, though.
They do the same thing. They bring it all the way back with this. Okay, so
yeah, we'll skip all the like stupid details.
there's a lot of like things that don't matter because after you spend 3 episodes with all these things, they resolve every single issue in the
every
span
single
of like
one.
7 minutes.
We talked about it at the beginning. They finished an event. They finished a platform event where they're fighting like above, and they like one person gets knocked out, another teammate has to come in, and then it's down to Miguel, and he like goes Super Saiyan.
Takes 2 of them out.
Yeah,
does like a super kick.
It's awesome. But then it's like, okay, we won that event, but then they get a phone call from Miguel's mom saying that her
Miguel's
pregnancy.
grandma.
Miguel's grandma
Grandma
calls, yes, about the mom,
Yeah,
saying
mom's
the pregnancy isn't going well.
Baby's not going to make it. Probably
We're in the hospital.
You got to get here right now.
Right now. So they hop on a plane back to
Which,
America.
That
from
might be the
Barcelona.
highlight of the entire series.
The airplane?
The airplane part.
It was great, but it wasn't. It was
It
like
doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but him.
it's like you get a piece of chocolate in your soup, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, that was good, but I don't know
Like,
how
why
it pairs
is-
with
yeah.
cream chowder or cream spinach or whatever. Like
there are some really good acting scenes, like Miguel and Johnny. There's some good stuff there.
some really good stuff.
Some good nuggets, and like you're saying,
That's because like Zolo Mandueña is
He's a
like,
good actor.
He's like the best
He
actor
carries
out of
it. He
all the
carries
kids.
the-
He's
it's
the best. He's
vibe.
the best one out of the kids. He's
When-
like, I'm Blue Beetle, bitch. That's why he's want Captain. He's like, I'm Blue Beetle, bitch. Like, what the fuck have you done?
so they get back to
America.
and then
After a
They
whole
give
episode
you-
of them on the plane.
yeah,
Which
they-
is really good.
The worst
but-
psych out, like Walking Dead style psych out. They go, hey, where's Carmen's room? Oh, it's 54, but you can't go in there. And they run
in.
there, and there's blood everywhere. And the nurse, cleaner ladies like won't answer their questions. And they're crying and hugging. And grandma walks in
Why
like
wouldn't they tell him where's my...
so this is it, because she's like Spanish, she starts speaking Spanish. She's like, tell me, and the lady just won't. So then the grandma comes in almost like comedy style with the mom, like, what are you
Boys!
guys doing here? I'm fine. It was just a little scare. And the nurse is like, oh, she'll be fine. Just stay off. It's like, it was such false tension. Then they did it just
Tickets
to get
to
Kenny
Barcelona, I think, are very
back.
expensive.
On the spot.
Yeah.
And then they had to fly right back. They literally had to fly.
You need a
for-
day of ticket, one way, because you also need a one-way ticket back, because there's no round trip that fast.
No.
You know what I mean? How much money?
What is that,
How much
like
disposable
18-hour
income?
flight?
Have they set up? Well, I guess
Something.
Danny, he's rich, so okay. But yeah, they do this huge fake out just to get Kenny Payne back in the show. And the whole plane episode we spend on him trying to make up with Sam's brother and Daniel's like kid. Like, I was so happy that we were like not using any of the ancillary Cobra Kai characters anymore.
By the end, they're having a party at Danny's house, and they've got every single extra character.
I
that's
hate all
ever
of
been
them
on.
too. I'm like, I don't need any of them. I
I
didn't
wish
need
we
it.
were there for the brawl.
Yeah.
my brawl skills are tight.
Yeah,
or
well, you
whatever.
didn't
I'm
test
like-
well with the focus groups, and no one likes your fucking characters. So.
And I know it sounds like we're all over the place, but this is the season.
This is the season.
Like, Daniel gets kidnapped and thrown in a dog cage for only a third of an episode because he's so smart.
And they bait you in thinking it's Kreese. And Kreese even does a weird thing of like,
How'd your meeting go?
yeah. You're like, is it Kreese? Turns out, no,
Wait for it.
it's not Kreese.
Hold on.
Terry Silver's
Ah,
back.
dun, dun. I know. This couldn't be any more 80s. I appreciate how 80s this show is.
dude. Holy fuck.
But it is so...
We can't bring Terry back again.
They do the montage.
Again?
They do the montage where they almost play the South Park song. Need a montage. Like they're like, we're gonna do this, guys, and then they start playing the '80s riff, and they're cutting, and they're all doing the thing they've done in every season where they got it. It's too much. We talked about this like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's all good until you've done it 100 times.
Right.
Like, you gotta wrap
Bringing
it
Terry
up.
back the first time was like, shit, here we go. And then it's like, Stingray's like the worst testifier
Yeah.
ever.
By the way, they brush off as like, and how did they?
That was
they-
a whole arc.
They give us
Stingray has
Star
one of his
Wars.
best
I know.
scenes by breaking
But they
down
gave
and like
us-
telling the kids about the
They
D&D,
basically
but he's
gave us a
talking
Star
about
Wars.
Yeah.
How did you even get out of prison? A bad witness, and I'm out. And you're like, what? Like he tried to kill children.
Maybe he fled the country because he is in Barcelona.
True.
That's the only way. But they show him doing stuff in America. He's like recruiting another dojo. He's like in a fight club.
He's got a new dojo. It's the Iron Tigers or whatever.
Iron Dragons.
Or Iron Dragons.
Iron Dragons. Yeah. Under a new sensei who's like maybe Spanish. Maybe he sounds like Jason Statham half the time. Because by the end he's like, we gotta do this or what? Like,
yeah, it was really weird.
Like, what voice are you doing? Because before he sounded like a normal like me or you. And then by the end he's like, oi Johnny, I'm gonna kick your arse.
Pretty boy.
Yeah. Like what? Why does he sound like Jason Statham?
So we have all this crazy stuff going on. And I know you're like, wait a minute, isn't this about...
Where is this going?
Isn't this about dojos and fighting?
Where's this building to?
Yes, it is. And they build it all to the mid-season finale.
We get a battle royale between all the dojos, between all the kids. How do we get there?
They do the classic swerve, the worst writing ever, where like, of course it's going to be Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do.
Oh yes, Cobra Kai gets knocked out of the tournament.
The semifinals. And of course Miyagi-Do wins, and it looks like there's no way. The show's called Cobra Kai, by the way. There's no way Cobra Kai is going to be in the finale. Oh, we found
what's our finale then?
Another team cheated because their kids took performance-enhancing drugs. They never once alluded that they were testing these kids. They have a whole entire episode where they're all out getting smashed. All right, all of the kids.
Bobby's like, I don't drink, and then by the
end, he's smashed banging the Brazilian chick.
Yeah,
and they're all drinking. Like the Iron Dragons guy, everybody, but somehow they only tested the Russians.
Drugs.
The Russians got drugs.
Steroids.
Anyway,
Isn't that funny?
Because they get disqualified, guess who comes back? The team that finished 5th.
Cobra Kai.
So they bump them up to 4th.
I hated
It's you didn't need this.
Just make the two who it's like the deciding, like do the Dragon Ball, like punch, you're punching me, and then it's a draw. You know?
Well, they could have just had them qualify anyway, had another team get cheated, and then throw the cheating team out, and they still come back and cause the brawl. You didn't need to do it to get Cobra Kai to. That's really dumb. It was dumb.
But were they taking performance-enhancing drugs, or did
is it all
either Terry Silver do it for
because
like
they
a
alluded
bit?
When Terry's like, we're gonna embarrass them on the whole world stage,
or does Kreese like? I think it was like Terry wants revenge on Kreese, and they got knocked out, and then Terry goes and does something that we don't see and maybe we will see.
But see,
you know, to like make the judges go like they're performance enhancing drugs, because there's no reason for like the main Russian dojo guy, like the sensei, to get so mad if they weren't using performance enhancing drugs.
So he comes back and knocks out the worst actor in the series, who's the guy who runs the Saikai Tiger.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
That's really
I want to hug him like Angel, baby.
He might be like a ex-sports announcer that they brought in, and it's like a funny bit. But
he seems like a nice guy. I'm not trying to talk shit about the person. I just mean
I needed like
it grinds it to a halt.
You got to do a dodgeball there. You got to have the Ocho. You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, the people, whoever's filming this, they have to watch this on satellite. There's no delay.
No delay.
Because they're watching this back at Danny's house on whatever, the Ocho.
Yeah. They're watching on Netflix, but it kept buffering every 8 minutes.
Once the Russian guy comes back, he knocks out the announcer, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. The tournament should be canceled and over.
Well, the Russians get mad, like the actual dojo members, and they're like, let's fucking go!
But then, like, everybody, they're jumping down from the rafters. Like, why didn't Miyagi-Do just, like, scoot? Which I know it's a karate show, and you're like, it's stupid, Jay. Like, why would you? But I'm just saying, like...
I had no idea what was happening.
It's a full-out brawl where
it's hard to follow. Yeah, everybody's like in their different colors. Like, I don't know.
And it goes for 20 minutes.
It's way too long.
And they give you like 7 false teases. So Kreese from the last couple seasons has this like legendary master knife that he's been carrying around with him, and they've been alluding that he's going to do something literally since I think season 3.
Because he's like always around a corner.
He's got the
knife drawn. He like oversees the conversation, not the time.
So he goes to kill Tony, but there's too many people there, or Terry.
We have too many
Tony
Tonys
Silver.
in our life.
He goes to kill Terry, but Terry's got his goons around him, so he can't. So he's going to kill him later. But then when the whole battle breaks out, he goes to kill Terry, but he loses the knife.
He drops it. He's been
they don't show you until he goes to kill him.
He's been holding onto this thing
for 10 years, 100 years.
For 40 years. You know what I mean? And he loses it in the biggest fight of his life. What the fuck, man? Come on. He just drops it.
So that's what I mean. Like, it's like somebody runs into him and
like
falls
Terry
out of his.
says it like he knows, like drop something. Like
no, but he just.
But they don't show you that he
just dropped it
because
they don't.
They go like he's gonna kill Terry. Johnny sees it, and for some reason Johnny cares about these two assholes, and he's gonna go save one of them, which is completely.
Doesn't he get stopped by Iron Dragon's guy
for a minute? But he comes in and saves Kreese.
Okay, that's right.
Which makes no sense.
That's right.
Because he gave a big speech about how he's over his sensei and they can rot in hell.
An episode ago, the last episode, he goes like.
Which I get it. They're trying to teach you that Johnny seems to be learning as a human, while Daniel just doesn't seem to get it.
No.
But then they show you like Daniel's gonna get stabbed. They do this whole slow motion thing where he's like throwing kids out of the way because he sees the one bad guy from Cobra Kai pick up the knife.
Yeah.
And he's like, literally, they keep cutting to him and he's like moving kids. And then they show Robbie. They show the dude pick up the knife, but then they cut to the
going to kill the Iron Dragon guy.
And you're like, oh, I don't care about either of these characters.
No.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you're like, you haven't given us enough of either one
quick,
of
what's
these.
his name? I have no idea. Fucking, I have no idea. No idea. I wish I did. Yeah.
So then he falls on his own knife.
Quan.
He falls on his own. He's going to stab the guy. He gets kicked in the face. He falls on his own knife, conveniently like right in the heart. Dead center chest. Just right there. Right there.
Which, like, of course, because, like, this character is, like...
The biggest POS.
The biggest piece of shit.
That's the problem.
You don't even care if he can be redeemed.
You're like, I hate him. My 12-year-old is like, like, you're almost wanting him to die, and then he's... So, like, what kind of... How are you going to feel
I
bad?
would have killed off one of the Miyagi dudes. Robbie?
Like, for an impact?
Fuck, man. If they killed Robbie...
Well, I personally thought...
Danny,
they were going to give us a fake out. Danny gets stabbed.
He just needs to be brought to the hospital.
You think he's going to die. That's the end of the part of the season, and you're like, is Danny dead?
I mean, he's out of Sensei for the tournament.
But then they just give us a whatever. So, the best Cobra Kai guy on the team's dead.
Wait, so what's the challenge?
So what's going to happen now?
What's the challenge now?
So Tori's going to carry Cobra Kai, and now they're going to make her the bad guy, but she's already showed that she's...
They did that in this
But she can't fully already turn, like you said. She can't make the full heel turn because she cares too much.
She's already done it.
And she feels... They've done the whole thing, like they're planting seeds to make her turn face again. So what's going to happen? Is she going to like...
Yeah, you can't kill Robbie.
Which, by the way, that's the end. They go, cut the feed. Which they could have and should have probably said cut the feed for the entire 25-minute disrespect to the karate tournament battle that's happening on camera and they're filming it, right?
Yeah. Like, but then you forget the announcer comes up and fucking knocks out the Russian dude.
Which is cool.
It does like a stupid, like, fuck off, man. I hate this.
And that's it. It fades to black. No music for the first episode ever. It's like somber. That only works if it's Danny, Johnny, Miguel, Robbie, Tori.
I think Robbie's too high profile, but that would have been
but you
like...
have to kill them. You can give us... I'm fine with the false...
That's such a CW move, too. Like, they die at the end of the season, but then in the next season, they're fine.
Were saved.
Now he's just injured. We already have an extra. Devin is still there. Kenny comes in to replace Devin in the tournament, but she is still there.
Somehow still there. You're like, why doesn't Devin get stabbed? And because then
why is there 6 of them? They have more teammates. They just like change out one of them. Can you do that?
She's hurt now, so she can't. That's what I'm saying. If you want to, good writing would have been like you get Devin stabbed because you just built.
Miguel's
her
already been
up,
injured. He's safe,
and you already didn't like her for what she did to Kenny, even though Kenny was a dick. But now like she gets stabbed, and now you went from feeling like you hate her to, oh man, she didn't deserve to get stabbed for making him have diarrhea. You know what I mean? But no, they just like some random people that you were happy got stabbed. That's what I mean. Like
or Tori.
Anything. You almost, like I said, you're cheering for that guy to get stabbed. He gets stabbed, and then they try to make it somber.
Yeah, I'm like
well, good. He was going to murder people.
I didn't even like his character.
I didn't.
Yeah, no.
But he was like going to go kill innocent people.
He's the villain.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. He's dead.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's off the rails.
People can get stabbed and not die.
Yeah, but he was... Like they turn over, there's like 9 gallons of blood.
But I'm saying if it was like another person, it would have been.
He could have been on the shoulder.
I think Daniel stabbed would have done it. I think that would have gave some major impact. Robbie, because both Daniel and Johnny fucking care about him, and Kreese and Tori and Sam and Miguel all care about Robbie. And he's their captain, so then Miguel would have been like,
you can't
I wanted it, but not like this.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. There's a bunch of other roads to
Juan, the biggest challenge that posed them on the fucking Cobra Kai's team is dead. Why wasn't it one of the Iron Dragon dude who they were building up? You know, like...
Because now he's going to be out, because they're going to find a way to continue the tournament, which is stupid.
Right. And that's another thing. Like, no. Done. Kid died. We're done. We are done.
But they won't.
Everybody go home.
And the Iron Dragon guy is not going to be able to compete now because he just accidentally is going to be responsible for that dude dying, even though it's not his fault.
So then there's no challenge for our Miyagi-Dos now.
Do you see what I'm saying? They've written
or
themselves...
they fly in another ringer, and it's a new character we have to introduce in
Hilary Swank
in 3 episodes. Fuck, man. They could have... Daniel gets stabbed, taken out of the tournament. Who flies in? Hilary fucking Swank, man. God, that would have been awesome.
I just don't get the writing in this season. It's been like they didn't want to
know how to end it.
They didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It ended in season 5. Terry's getting arrested. Kreese is done. Everybody made up.
Yeah.
They're all coming together to be one dojo. They're going to go fly off to be in a world tournament. Like you said,
make that the movie.
Make that the end.
Or make that the movie. And then we went to have 3 episodes, 3 parts, 10 episodes each. We would have had a 2-hour movie.
We don't need 15 episodes.
You could have wrapped all this up in 2 hours.
The wheels, we didn't need to regress these lines again. It's just wheel spinning. We could get right there and you get right on the tournament. Now they're trying to sabotage them and they're trying to, there's going to be a little back and forth because it's a sporting thing, but you're not going to forget everything you've learned for the last 5 years of seasons and 10 years in real life. You know what I mean? You're not going to...
If it was a movie, writing could have been better, budget could have been better, the effects could have been better, the fighting could have been better.
I'll give them credit though. The way they make the just regular karate seem the most intense, insane. The music's pumping, the camera's coming from the side, and it's just like... By the way, Peyton List.
What's going on?
I appreciate that she wants to do her own stunts. I do. I mean
What's
this
going on,
sincerely
baby
right
girl?
now. But they do that during the montage and on the Cobra Kai side, and they've got dude who stabs himself and her. He's like in the air, 8 feet, doing a real spinning kick. Then they cut to her, and you're like, I'm at a special school. And I'm not trying to be mean, but do you see what I mean? And you're like, how can you even
do all of them
that?
have stunt doubles, maybe?
I don't know.
I would assume, like, some of them
They all
have
look
to.
like they're doing real karate and not very well. Not very well. Like Sam. She's the worst.
Yeah. It's not great.
Like, her acting skills are like 5'5", and her karate skills are like a 2'4".
This is Sam. Entire episodes.
And how many times, as I'm nitpicking,
Our captain, by the way. Our
I know.
Captain, by the way.
Hawk. The first couple seasons, they played that Hawk sound effect only a couple times, only when he made contact.
I love it.
Now they do it.
Well, but he wasn't Hawk for a little bit.
Right, but
You know what I
they
mean?
do
He
it
was
every
Eli.
time, and he never hits. They go, ah! And they like block it and kick him in the face. And you're like, why did you play the sound effect?
I want him to have like a different mohawk this season,
No,
but
just
it's
been the
not a
USA
different
one the
season,
whole
so
time.
it's like
exactly.
shit.
All right. What's okay? I know we had a starting number.
It's
I can't
like a
remember.
50-minute
where it was at.
episode.
This right now.
I don't remember our
I can't remember where we
ranking
left
for-
it off, but it's not. It's not good right now. Like I'm hard pressed to see how they land this thing.
I
There's
don't
no
know if we
wheels.
can rate this because it was like the middle. It was just like filler bullshit.
That's what I mean. Like I think we have like the number. Like if you had a scale as it's running down the thing, like it's only at about a 5 right now.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it
Like,
wasn't.
It
wasn't
borders
good.
line on. If the whole series was like this, I could excuse it. But there was some good stuff, and now it's just like crazy zany.
Yeah, we lost the narrative. Yeah, I think a 5 is fine.
That's where we're at right now.
It's a loose 5 though, because it's
Yeah, in the middle.
slipping.
Right.
I don't know how they're gonna end it.
I don't know.
They already did end it. Terry's back. Is he just gonna be in
They're
jail
gonna fly
again?
in Jackie Chan with the new kid from the movie.
No. I don't think any of that will be in this.
It's got to like lead up to the movie though.
And it'll either be Miyagi-Do's lose, and then the movie is Daniels tries again, like, and William Zabka isn't in it, Zola Maridueña isn't
Which is
in it.
ridiculous.
I don't think they're going to be in the
I
movie.
know, but Johnny should be in it.
It might be like the GT of Karate Kid and just completely ignore Cobra Kai, and it's only after
that
the
would
Karate
be really
Kid.
dumb. But it's Sony, so let's do a Karate Kid universe and leave out the only thing that's been popular in the last.
I wonder where we learned that from. But you try that. It clearly didn't work. I guess they did make 3 Venom movies, so we'll see. But yeah, Cobra Kai. Weird to I like the cross promotion, doing 2 fight things. The Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight came out like the same.
Yeah, they were smart. That's why they moved it up. Because remember, it was Black Friday was the original release date. Then all of a sudden, they were like, it's coming out that Friday.
Because everybody's going to be subscribed to Netflix for the fight.
That's exactly. So you watched it going into the fight or the fight into the, yeah, that's exactly what they
Yeah, which is perfect.
gave you credit there, but your release schedule's garbage, Netflix.
It is.
For
It's
this
really
style
bad.
show.
It's really bad.
For this style
yeah,
show.
Yeah. Arcane. Let's not even talk about Arcane. Fucking Yeah. All right. Like, okay, drop 4 episodes. Okay, then drop 2 episodes. I'm not mad at this. I'm mad at it, but I'm 100% going to watch
I'm
this
good. Oh, I'm
movie.
excited.
Yeah.
It is literally shot for shot, like you said, and it is like Toothless looks even better, even
You get
cuter.
T.J. Miller
Oh my
as
God.
his actual character. Jonah Hill is the fucking.
They're all just. That's really funny.